ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Yay! Yeah, no, you just died from the plague.
All nursery rhymes are horrible.
Yeah. Which is why when Korn did their song, their nursery rhyme song, where they recited all, it just made it seem a lot more, almost real, because they made it sound kind of creepy. And nursery rhymes in my head, voices in my head, look at the pages, it just sounds so evil. I liked it. Very good.
Sure.
Ish. Have you ever heard of a candy called the Necco wafers? Necco?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, there you go. Well, they have literally been to the ends of the world and back. They were especially favored by polar explorers. Between 1913, that brought them to the Arctic in 1913. And the 1930s, Admiral Byrd shipped over 2.5 tons of wafers to the South Pole.
Huh.
So it was
bird shipped. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, bird shipped. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's some crazy wafer news. You know, in America, they only get 2 peanut butter cups in their Reese peanut butter cups.
Shut the fuck up, really?
They get 2.
Fuck, America sucks. Country needs to stop. Just for that fact alone.
We get 3.
We get 3 or 4.
There was a big thing on Twitter about it. People going like that their government has been shafting them all this time is funny. The government's been fucking us this whole time. You know, in Canada, they get 3 peanut butter cups. Fucking nuts.
You guys pay $4 for a fucking 12-pack of beer. Shut the fuck up.
That's true, too.
Jesus. Fucking hell. Buttons. Buttons? Buttons for clothing?
I know buttons.
Little buttons. Well, when they were first invented, they were not used for fastening clothing together. About 5,000. No, they've been dating back around 5,000 years, but most ancient buttons discovered in the Indus Valley in modern-day Pakistan were made of shell and were used for ornamentation. Fuck me. To look pretty rather than function. Ornamentation. Fuck, I can't even speak. So there you go. So that's what they're made. To look pretty, they didn't actually have a purpose.
That's funny.
Yeah. There you go.
And then nobody wore those too.
No. Fidel Castro. Did you know that he is in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Probably.
Yes, he is. And he was in there not because of anything he did as a leader or because of the military thing he did. But in 1960, he managed to talk nonstop for 4 hours and 29 minutes in the United Nations. And then later in 1986, he blew that fucking record to pieces by speaking for 7 hours and 10 minutes at the Communist Party Congress in Havana.
What the hell do you talk about for 7 hours? Well, I could on this show, but
yeah, no, not alone though. I couldn't just speak for. I probably could. Who am I kidding?
Be interesting to find out what he talked about for that. I'm not going to go listen to a 7-hour fucking speech and figure out what it was about. But
could you imagine if that was like what it was like for like every time like the prime minister or someone spoke, it was like a fucking 5 to 7 hour deal? Oh my god, nobody would care.
No, not so much.
No. You just start off your presentation with like the first like say half an hour, and then everything else would just be what most random shit you can even think of, and just keep spitting random things out. Nobody's gonna hear this. Doesn't matter.
That's pretty much how it would be if I did it.
That's pretty much how it is now, anyway. So
just be 6.5 hours of crap. Half an hour. The first half hour would be killer. Then after that, just garbage.
Absolute garbage from that point on. I was going to read this one, but I'm just not because it's a little bit long and it's pointless. Um, so on the morning of their execution, the Romanovs were ushered down to the cellar of a house, and the murder squad showed up to carry out the executions. Now, the men were each supported or supposed to fire at a different family member. Many privately didn't want to shoot the girls, so they all aimed at Nicholas and Alexandra instead. So what became basically the firing was so wild that the men managed to injure each other in the process. So they're so fucking so instead of shooting their targets, they ended up shooting a whole bunch of other people, including themselves.
Yeah, that seems to be happening in the States too a lot.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? The first message in a bottle?
No, I don't.
It is being. I think that one of the first known message in a bottle was tossed into the Mediterranean by the Greek philosopher Theophrastus in 310 BC, and you just wanted to study the flow of water currents. Really sad and boring.
I guess so.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes really genius sense. But yeah. So a little random thing for you there. Yeah. Oh fuck! Hang on, my computer just froze. There we go. Do you know that there is a bridge in Venice called the Bridge of Sighs? Sighs spelled Sighs.
I'm sorry, what?
There is in Venice there is a bridge called the Bridge of Sighs. As an Sighs, as an aww.
I'm sure there's a bunch of them in Venice.
It was built in the early 17th century to connect the old and new wings of the Doge of Venice's prison system. The corridor arcing over the Rio de Plazio was dubbed the Bridge of Sighs for the doomed prisoners sighing in anguish as they glimpsed at their last view of the outside world before being led down to the dungeon of doom.
Probably just a bunch of people going, I live in fucking Venice.
That's it. Just, sick of this place. Fucking water everywhere.
Tourists, all just tourists all the time.
You know, the earliest. What's that?
One of the worst things about Vancouver is just tourists all the goddamn time.
Everywhere.
That would be very annoying. I think it was annoying in Vancouver. It'd be very annoying in Venice.
I'd have to imagine so, yeah. Oh, everywhere.
And there's a lot of sighing going on there too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Heard it all the time. It's almost like a second language out there. You know what somebody's feeling just by the sigh.
Pretty much.
In the 1800s, they still had dentures back then, but do you know how they actually made the dentures?
Wood?
No. They were made out of the teeth of dead people, usually soldiers. They just rip them out of their mouth and stick them in your mouth.
I knew that.
That's really gross.
I'd forgotten.
That's just gross. I don't care how you say it. It's just gross.
I don't know that it is.
You don't think so? I think it's gross.
To clean them properly, it's just someone else's teeth. Who cares?
Oh man. Back in the 1800s, speaking of the 1800s, people actually thought that tomatoes had medicinal qualities.
Are you saying they don't? You don't eat enough pizza, my friend.
Well, they used to claim that it would treat diarrhea and indigestion. Now, with too much pizza, that will cause both of those. So, there's that.
Yeah, they found lots of stupid stuff in medicine.
Oh my god, I love some of the old fucking things that they would use for quote unquote medicine back then. It's amazing.
These are the same people that are working on COVID right now.
Did you know that farmed salmon is actually dyed pink?
Yes, I did.
Do you know why?
Because they're gross.
Is because like naturally they eat a lot of shrimp, and that's where they get the color from. But farm raised, they have a completely different diet, so they actually end up being white. So it's all white meat. So they're fed specific plant pigments to give the same hue as red salmon.
Yeah, they're gross. They shouldn't be allowed. I don't care. I don't eat fish. Go ahead, eat your farm salmon, your dyed meat.
Your dyed meat.
Gross.
There's a, I don't know which one. I don't think it's red dye number 7, but there is a common red food dye, which is called cerminic acid. The weird thing about this stuff is that it's actually made from the crushed bodies of a beetle called the Dactylopius coccus.
Yeah.
That acid is what's used in maraschino cherries, strawberry, and raspberry flavored candy and lipstick.
And you can just go with what I always called it because I don't know the Latin dialect. I just call it dog dick red.
Yeah. Gross. Do you know what the biggest cause of tooth decay is?
Meth.
Close. That's third.
Is it orange juice?
No, well, it's actually it's acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the worst out of all of them, if you're gonna love this, are crackers.
Really?
Crackers are the worst, the biggest cause of tooth decay.
Strange. I guess from, I don't know, what would that be, from the salt?
It's the fact that it basically just sticks to your teeth, and it ends up being a full-on breeding ground for bacteria.
Oh, there you go.
So much like going out and washing your hands all the time, people, after you take your shit, because you're all nasty motherfuckers, you don't do that. Brush your fucking teeth if you have crackers.
Yeah, brush your teeth after you shit. That's good advice for the kids to stop spreading the COVID. Every time you shit, brush your teeth.
That's right. That's funny. Oh, man. So this is something was quite fascinated by. I didn't understand this. For those of you who haven't noticed, I have a whole bunch of food facts right now, and I love food facts. I think they're just fascinating. You know that there's a chemical in chili peppers called capsaicin. Capsaicin. We'll go with that. The interesting thing about that is it tricks your mouth into feeling like it's being burned. But the pain is actually technically all in your head. It's not actually burning your mouth.
I don't buy it.
It reacts with the brain specifically. So there you go.
Strange.
Yeah. And just to show how, well, fuck you, America. American cheese, because it's actually known as just American cheese.
Yeah.
Well, it was invented in Switzerland. Not even American.
Nobody likes it anyway.
No, well, I mean, Americans do. But they also like that cheese in the aerosol can. Them motherfuckers are crazy.
Nothing wrong with spray cheese.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a Puritan. I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine.
Anything in a spray is better.
Especially farts. Now here's an interesting thing. Beer in Russia. So any beer and alcohol under 10% ABV, was under 10% of the alcohol content with it, was classified as a soft drink until 2013.
Yeah, that's Russia. Those guys, they start drinking vodka when they're like 7.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's an actual
legal drinking age in Russia is 4.
I thought it was just issued in the baby bottle when you're born.
I don't know that that's true. I could be off on that number.
What food do you think is the most stolen food in the world?